Hello dear tea friends from around the world. Welcome to a new class with me, Stéphane Herler, from the blog Tea Masters and the tea-masters.com tea boutique. It's fall, it's time to go back to class and also go back to our favorite tea class. Today I'm going to talk about one lesson that I've learned this summer, a bit painful, I must admit, but I think actually it did me well to experience the pain because it really made this lesson stand out and I'm not going to forget about it. And it's about pouring with the Gaiwan, brewing with the Gaiwan, because my master, Tea Parker, he's been organizing a tea competition. I've called it Top Gaiwan, a bit like Top Gun, the blockbuster movie of this summer. And in this Top Gaiwan competition, there was a first round from each of his tea classes, where the number one was selected. So we were all advancing to the final round. So it was really a competition between the best of the best. And how to brew well with the Gaiwan. 30% was focused on your movement, on your position, on your grace, on your beauty, on your technique, if you want. 30% of the presentation of the tea, how well you describe the tea that you are going to brew. 20% on the smell and 20% on the taste of the tea. So I was glad that I was selected by my class as the number one. We were the way it was set up, it was the participants were the judges, so we were judging each other, and the others must have judged me the best. So I got a first prize already, and then in the final, what happened was again the same rule. We were this time 5 competitors plus Tea Parker. So I trained the whole summer with 6 cups to mimic the fact that I would have to pour in 6 different cups. And I did it. Let's bring the water to a boil. Let's simply brew Alishan High Mountain Oolong from this spring. Hopla. Maybe a bit too much. Anyway, first I'm going to show you the mistake I've made, and that was not picked up during the first round. And then I will try to correct it. So what happened is that with the mistake I did, and I was not the only one to do it, and another participant also made the mistake. The Tea Parker, who is in theory just one of the judges, but actually he's the one who organizes the competition, so he decided to cancel this competition and do it on another day, because me and another guy, we were doing it wrong. And with preheat, I'm going to show you what was wrong. Now, of course, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. My wrong came from a very good intention. It's that I wanted to make it, I want to avoid splashes on my chabu. So, okay, let's preheat, like we always do. So this technique that I've been using, I had been using it in the past, and the intention is to avoid really to make a big splash. So what I would do before, especially in the first brews, when you really have a very full Gaiwan, what I would do is pour very, very slowly, and then let the water glide along the walls of the Gaiwan in the cup. So the advantage of this mistake is that no water is going on the chabu, as you can see. Just you would say actually it's still too easy. It does not require so much skill to pour that way, and because this is really a competition about Gaiwan skills, to be not just to be very slow and careful and let the water glide along the walls, which if your Gaiwan is nicely clean, then it's okay. But if you had some stains, or if it's not so clean, then it could look a bit let's say not so appetizing, because while we know that inside is clean, the outside sometimes is not so much. It should be, but so it's not so beautiful. It's not so much in control. It's an exercise in being very slow, but he thought this is not the proper technique, so he cancelled the final and will do it again on October 15. Now I'll try to show you how it should be done. I'm still a bit in the practicing phase, but I think I'm getting there slowly. This is enough. Let's put it back. Don't want to waste good high mountain oolong. So first, the brew. Now, for the brew, what I've been also practicing a lot is how to get the leaves to open up with the very first time. So now it's still summer, still quite hot, so we're not so much concerned with the drop in temperature for the Gaiwan. It's still quite hot, but still here you want to be quite quick. Don't lose too much time. Of course, these are rolled oolongs, so we want to let them swirl and dance. I'm really pouring very, very high so that the leaves have a lot of space to open up. Really, I take advantage of all the Gaiwan, and then here you can see I'm also using my lid as like a scoop to help the leaves to continue to unfurl by moving them around very nicely. And now, closing the lid on the Gaiwan, I can really see the water on top changing slowly color, and also absorbing or being absorbed by the leaves, and then this level should decrease. Now for high mountain oolong, for the very first brew, we need to let the leaves some time to open up. This is what we are doing now. So I can rather slowly empty the cups in my waste water bowl. So here, one of the really challenge with the Gaiwan is that the rim can be very, very hot, especially if you pour water very high. So I've seen people really recommend to pour water much lower than this. I'm almost at the edge. In theory, the leaves are going to absorb some of the water, and therefore the level is going down, especially if you give this time for this process. So then, when the water is down, the rim has more opportunity to cool down. Now what's interesting with the Gaiwan, we can also check from time to time. The leaves are still opening. And so when the level goes down, actually it will be easier to hold the Gaiwan on the side, but by filling it really up a lot, we give more space to these leaves to open up. We'll drink also more tea. This is also another good advantage of pouring more in your Gaiwan. And then you have it's easier to use your lid to let the water and the leaves unfurl in the Gaiwan, like I just did. If there's very little, if there's less water, then it's more difficult to do this. Okay. Nice. And now let's go. Now we need to make sure that there is some air that can enter from one side, from the side opposite to where the water is going to go out. The two fingers really are on opposite sides of the Gaiwan, and the water will come in the middle. And now let's do a very quick Yes, I think with this I'm pretty good. I'm giving myself 5 marks. Compared to what I've been doing in the past, I'm quite satisfied. Very few drops of water on the charbu, and you could see this looks much more in control, because by being very quick and still pouring inside the cups, it looks like you know much better than what you are doing than if you go really very careful, very slowly. It's like when you are driving a sports car. Of course, you can drive it very slowly and very safely around the circuit, but here with tea, still time is of the essence. Sometimes you want to stop the pour. You want to pour your tea in the cups when the tea is ready, and not let it continue to brew in the Gaiwan for ages. So some speed actually, and really it's, of course, in some regards it's a stress, but it's also a focus. And so we are still able to get some interesting things for our mind. Really be very focused on doing this movement and practice. It's more, I think, more rewarding to be able to do this movement very quickly and in control than to go very slowly and the water dropping sloppily along the walls. So I'm really very happy that I made this mistake and that finally I got corrected. Actually, when I remember, I did get corrected a few times before, but it did not really. I did not really register it. Did not remember it carefully enough, and forgot about it. Went back to the old ways. This is also a problem with habits. Once you have learned or practiced tea for a long time, you become prisoner of your own habits, and it's very difficult to change. So this time, the cancelling of this competition and not being hoping to win and then seeing that this event was cancelled, this was really such a shock that it drove me to revisit this Gaiwan technique, and I think I'm on the good path. Maybe not winning, because it's going to be tough. Everybody has more time to learn about it, and it's really still difficult to master. But I think I've won already, because I was able to learn this lesson to make the proper Gaiwan movement. Cheers! And the tea tastes good. Very sweet and fresh. The two characteristics of high mountain oolong. Spring is back. I have another announcement to make for this going back to class. I had the idea of doing an interview a month with one of you, especially a student or of course in priority persons who order from my shop t-masters.com, so that I get to know you better, so that you also you get to present yourself, maybe your activity, and how tea and your daily job or hobbies mix together, what you gain from tea, what you really enjoy about it, how you started to make tea, who taught you about it, what are the teas that you brew, this kind of questions, and also what is your main activity, and does tea influence your main activity, your job, or one particular passion that you want to talk about? I think that could be interesting for everybody to listen to. So one week every month, instead of a class, I will then broadcast such an interview. If you want to participate in this series of interviews, so there should be maybe 9 or 10 this year until the next recess in June, please contact me like you know how to do, with my email stephanerler@yahoo.com, or under the comments of this video, and we'll try to arrange that at your convenient time. It doesn't have to be now, live. On the weekend, it can be really any time. I will adapt my time to your time, and then I think it will be interesting to have this collection of interviews after a year, and better understand what everybody's different approach to tea. Okay, thank you very much for watching this first class of fall 2022, and I see you next week for another tea class. Bye bye.